Why is it not working? It didn't die. This thing did not die. The fuck? It was just on the fucking charger for like a couple hours. Did the charger fucking take the power from it? It's on 0%. You know it's on the charger for like 3 hours. Fucking lovely.
At approximately 12:25 a.m. on June 23rd, 2020,
I'm bored.
Trooper Elkins was notified by dispatch that the Roland Police Department was pursuing a white Chrysler traveling eastbound on Interstate 40 into Arkansas. Trooper Elkins intercepted the pursuit near Highway 64 and South 7th Street in Van Buren. As the fleeing vehicle reached his location, he immediately joined the pursuit and moved into the primary position.
Arkansas 329, Chilln, Mary, 329.
People's watching random stuff. Oh.
Watching random stuff.
Stuffed.
Are you fucking serious? Motherfucker, come on.
10 wings, $10.
Who as
At Zaxby's,
ass?
the math is mathing. Zaxby's 10 for 10.
I wasn't always
I'm thinking that don't charge
but
this.
thanks to Purdue Global, I got my literal dream job.
3 years ago, I didn't have a degree.
Maybe need that charger. I don't know, but it's being.
At approximately 12:25 a.m. on June 23rd,
Come in and watch some
2026,
police chases.
Trooper Elkins was notified
some
by
other
dispatch
stuff.
that the Roland Police Department was pursuing a white Chrysler traveling eastbound on Interstate 40 into Arkansas. Trooper Elkins intercepted the pursuit near Highway 64 and South 7th Street in Van Buren. As the fleeing vehicle reached his location, he immediately joined the pursuit and moved into the primary position.
That car's not that fast. I don't expect him to be doing like 300, but God. When they're doing the motorcycle, almost got ate up by a fucking cop.
Watch out for that moped.
And it was like nowhere really he could go. We could go on the side of the road, but like another foot over, that cop would have clipped the moped driver.
Coming up to 250.
Honestly, when they was doing that little swerve thing, if he would have just tapped that bumper, he probably would have lost control. I think chasing somebody would be so fun.
50th.
50th.
Got a motorcycle ahead of us. I'm backing off. TDI. Where's you at?
Just past 50th in front of K. Rogers and
They ain't let him get no speed to keep pitting before he gets speed up.
Back on 50th.
I wanna get pitted one day, like not in a real police shit. I wanna experience what it'd be like to see if you can spin out and keep control. But a lot of people like just be like out of the chase when that happens. I wouldn't mind like having like a little prop town or something like to do some police chases in. I think that'd be fun. I already like driving fast, so man, doing like a impromptu like police chase, just like have like some old cop cars and they'll just like riding around chasing and pit maneuver and stuff. You probably need like medics and stuff there, but you know. Well, he done.
Following the pit maneuver on North 6th Street, Trooper Elkins observed the
Yo,
driver
what's good,
with a
everybody?
cigarette in his mouth, shaking his head and appearing to suffer a seizure. However, after officers shattered the driver's window, the suspect suddenly turned away and said, "Don't hurt me," indicating he was conscious. The driver, later identified as Larry Dwayne Rigsby, was removed from the vehicle and taken into custody without further incident. Investigators later confirmed that the Chrysler had been reported stolen.
Man, I want to do some police chases. I think that'd be so fun in real
4:35
life.
p.m. On June 27th, 2026, Trooper Connor was notified to assist in the pursuit of a black Nissan Kicks fleeing Jackson County deputies. As the pursuit passed his location, Trooper Connor immediately joined in and requested to take over as the primary pursuing
Oh,
unit.
he requested to. You know, he was hyped. He was ready for that. Was it last chase in Arkansas? Yeah, they chased him, but he got a good gap on him. I could just feel like now I'm gonna take over. Y'all said way too far. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think a black one might be a cop too. Fast 119, 120. I love driving that speed. That's so fun. I'm just watching random videos right now. I ain't playing that. I'm just bored. I need to start playing Grounded.
During the pursuit, the Nissan reached speeds of up to 122 miles per hour. With traffic conditions clear, Trooper Connor decided to perform a high-speed pit maneuver to bring the pursuit to an end.
I'll be mad as shit I get my car. Well, you get paid for it, so if somebody do hit your car while you running from the cops. So just the process and the time for waiting for it would be annoying, I guess. Have any slapboxing been going on? I kind of want to see some of that. I would never do it. There ain't nobody from the slap me. I'm gonna sit still and take a slap. We fighting all types of ways. But I'm not taking. I don't see how people do that. Sit there and just let somebody slap you. It's crazy. It just makes me want to go out and drive fast. Oof. Damn. You got a chance to killing the person you're chasing doing all that.
Following a pit maneuver at approximately 95 miles per hour, the Nissan rolled over. The driver, 27-year-old Jonathan Tyler Smith, complied with officers' commands and was taken into custody without further incident. During the rescue, Smith appeared extremely panicked, claiming he could not feel his legs and feared he had suffered a serious spinal injury. He tried to justify the pursuit by saying he was on his way to the hospital. Officers later recovered an object he had thrown from the vehicle during the chase, which was identified as a small zip bag containing illegal narcotics.
Why don't they unzip the bag when they throw it out?
8:34 a.m. on June 27th, 2026. Trooper Anthony Freeman observed a black Nissan.
Because if you unzip the bag and throw it out,
too closely.
they can't really say how much drugs you had in there once when you know it could have been a pound, it could have been a gram.
And pulling onto the shoulder.
So that's why I'm like, I'll just dump it out while you're driving. They can't pick up all of it.
While explaining the reason for the stop, Trooper Freeman detected a strong odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle. Johnson said he had lost his wallet and provided only a photo of his driver's license, while the passenger, Smith, showed a photo of the rental agreement and used her passport to verify her identity. After confirming both occupants' identities, Trooper Freeman asked Johnson to step out and questioned him about the odor of marijuana.
Man, the way I see it at this point, man, leave weed alone.
Then suddenly ran back to the Altima, jumped behind the wheel, and sped away.
He did not run. He walked back so calmly. Like, at this point, honestly, if they got weed, I wouldn't even care. As long as you can't tell they got like some type of hard drug. Weed is the most chill drug there is, but the easiest one to, like, you ain't got to be smoking it, or but you can smell it. Man, man, at this point, I'm like, man, if you ain't got no motherfucking, you ain't got no fent, no crack, no heroin, no pills, man, I'm finna let you go. I don't give a fuck if you got 100 pounds of weed. I'm not about to arrest you over weed. At this point, like, I've been there, like, bro, as long as you ain't got no hard drugs, we good. If you can have 1,000 pounds of weed in your car, I'm not gonna care if I was a cop. I'm like, alright, whatever. Like, for real, like, it's the easiest drug to detect, but the least harmful drug at that. Like, I would not care. Like, you can't just have a pound of crack sitting somewhere, or any amount of crack sitting somewhere that's not being smoked, and people just, they ain't just gonna smell it. Man, weed, if you ain't got that shit packaged right, you gonna smell it. Like, that just, pills, you can't just up and smell that just sitting somewhere. The least harmful drug is like they did. The easiest one to detect. Imagine you getting pulled over a cop like, I smell some fentanyl in your car. Sir, can you please step out? I do not trust too many people that run from the cops. If I ain't a driver, man, I'd rather just, I'm gonna just get out. I think the fastest I've been in a car like 135 so far. At least from what I remember, my fastest. Well, my fastest driving myself was 135. Speeding just feels so nice and relaxing. I want to be a cop, but then I'm like, man, I want to be a cop, but I'll be alright without being a cop. Worst day to run from the cops, boy. Open road, wide open, nobody anywhere. Did he hit a U-turn or? Oh no, he went in the ditch. I know he caught like, fuck, I didn't even think of that deep.
Following a pit maneuver at approximately 117 miles per hour, the Nissan left the roadway and crashed into a ditch. Both occupants complied with officers' commands and were taken into custody without further incident.
I understand this motherfucker.
Johnson later admitted he had about 10 grams of marijuana in his luggage. A subsequent search of the Altima uncovered 2 small bags of marijuana and 2 unidentified pills stored inside a black container.
That was not worth going to jail for. 10 grams of weed. What you get for that?
5 p.m. on June 22nd, 2026.
You can't get no serious time off for 10 grams of weed, I'm pretty sure.
And real help when you need it.
I don't know, maybe Arkansas kind of strict on weed. I don't know. They just need to give that shit up at this point. Weed is just. I don't know. I don't see the reason to be trying to lock people up over weed anymore.
Emergency alert. Bills are due. Wallet's empty. What do I do?
Trooper Anthony Goins observed a black passenger car with inoperable taillights exiting westbound Interstate 30 at exit 140. When Trooper Goins attempted to stop the vehicle, the driver fled, re-entered eastbound Interstate 30, and ran a red light at East Broadway, initiating a pursuit.
I remember I used to get pulled over a lot for not having a tag. Like, that shit was so stupid. A lot of times people be running from cops and they could have got away with it just by pulling over, taking a little ticket. But then sometimes people they want it for too much, or the cop just got lucky by pulling over the right car. I never got a ticket when I was pulled over, so that's a good thing, I guess. The tickets be expensive, man. The boy ran off the road all on his own. The cop didn't have to pit, boy. You don't got the will. See, people like that, you can't ride with.
The driver, later identified as Joseph D. Bell II, fled the crash on foot, running east across nearby railroad tracks. Officers were unable to apprehend him at the scene. A search of the crashed vehicle uncovered 5 individually packaged bags of marijuana. At approximately 12:30 p.m. on June 24th, 2026, Bell voluntarily turned himself in at the Arkansas State Police Troop A headquarters and provided a statement regarding the pursuit and crash.
Man, if 5 little Nick bags,
2026,
he could have said that was
approximately
for personal
9:30
use.
PM, Trooper Jonathan Johnson was conducting traffic enforcement southbound on Interstate 57 near mile marker 1 when he observed a sport motorcycle pass his patrol vehicle in the far right lane at a very high rate of speed. Trooper Johnson activated his emergency lights and siren while attempting to catch up. His front radar recorded the motorcycle traveling 120 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone, and he notified Arkansas State Police Troop A Communications that he was in pursuit.
Like, some people really run for the sport. They run and they don't have nothing illegal on them. They don't be wanted. They just be speeding and decide to run. The cop like, bro, I can go anywhere you go. Not necessarily, but he can ride on the side and all this other stuff too without getting in trouble for that. That biker don't know what he's doing. Because how fast most bikes are, not all. He literally could have probably hauled ass hit the lights and just kept flooring it, he would have went ghost. The cop would not have been able to keep up with that, man. Especially just at night, you chasing him, man. I would have cut my lights off and hauled ass on a bike. I've been just cutting traffic. Yeah, you can tell he ain't even comfortable running like that. Like, he was already going 120. When you wasn't being chased, hit your lights and do 120 down. And he's like, I don't know. The way he's driving is too predictable. Because me, I would have been like all the way on the right, cutting zigzag, cutting through traffic. But the cop would have been behind you trying to, then the cop would have to go all the way over to the opening and go over. But if you're just sitting on the side going up, he's going to sit on the side and ride up behind you. That's why when you in traffic, you got to bounce through all the lanes. If you're in the far right lane driving, cut over, like go up a car, cut over, cut left, cut right, floor it. The cop's in trying to zigzag. And if you're going in between two cars, the cop won't have to slow down, hop into the far, like turning lane or something to speed up past them, then go back over. Man, you've been so far ahead by now. I'm telling you, my lights would have been off. I've been flooring it. I would have went up like 5 eggs, 4 or 5 eggs, depending on how big the gap is. Cut off. She hopped off, cut back, went back the opposite direction. Ain't no way that cop caught back up with him. It's no, the cop doing 140, but still, he should not have had a chance to catch back up with that dude. Yeah, that dude most likely was not trying to run right. Because you doing, the cop got 140 to catch up with you. He's one of the people that shouldn't run and shouldn't be a criminal because he's not that very, he's not good at it. Maybe he's good at other stuff like safe cracking. Being a getaway driver, isn't it? Cut your lights off if you're gonna run. Stop using your brake lights so much, man. It's
near mile marker 136 on Interstate 30. Trooper Johnson was unable to catch up to the suspect and temporarily discontinued the pursuit due to heavy traffic after briefly losing sight of the motorcycle. A short time later, he relocated the motorcycle, traveling westbound on the left
that better not be the same cop.
mile marker 135 and resumed the chase.
Wait, is that the same cop?
A short time later, he
That's
relocated
Ethan. Who's this cop?
to the suspect
Oh, that's Jonathan. Okay, it's different
near
cops.
mile marker 134 and took over as the primary unit.
Oh boy, if this man was the same cop that seen him. How everybody doing in the chat? I was just bored and feel like games. So like, no, I'm gonna just. Oh, but I wanted to stream. It's like, man, we just gonna watch some videos. Oh, we're gonna watch some dash cam videos, like just like random people having dash cams and stuff. We're gonna watch some of that. How much more this got? That's just some people I'll be watching, you know. I should watching me. We watch some dash cam. What was like Wham Bam, something like that, dash cam? Ain't it Wham Bam dash cam? It ain't Wham Bam dash cam? That is the Wham Bam dash cam. Let's see. The newest videos.
On Wham Bam dash cam, we've shown you over 4,000
I
dash
saw
cam
Wham wrong.
videos captured by our fans.
We'll go here. Oh my god, can this ad hurry up and let me skip you?
On Wham Bam dash cam, we've shown
Can y'all
you
hear
over
it?
4,000 dash cam videos captured by our fans all over the world, with 20 new ones every week. You're about to see some of the craziest
I want a
videos
dash
we've
cam.
ever featured, so buckle up for Wham Bam dash cam's worst drivers of New York, Volume 2.
Oh, New York. I ain't been in New York
Our
in
first
7
edition
years.
is a perfect example of why you should never race on public roads. Not
That's the
only
best
could it
place.
cost you, but even completely innocent drivers might get caught up in the chaos. Our submitter was driving with his younger sister in the front seat. He told us she's afraid to sit in the front after watching lots of Wham Bam dashcam videos, but he assured her that nothing bad would happen.
There's no way she said that.
It looks like he spoke too soon. Two racing drivers sped by on either side before one lost control and hit the other. The two out-of-control vehicles proceeded to collide with three more, making this a 5-vehicle collision. Incredibly, our submitter's Toyota RAV4 was completely untouched, partly due to the fact that he stood on the brake pedal once the carnage began to unfold in front of him. He pulled over and checked on the occupants of the involved vehicles. Incredibly, nobody was seriously injured. He provided his dashcam footage to the victims and the responding police officers before continuing on his way. Our submitter told us this incident inspired him to upgrade to a dashcam with both front and rear camera angles. He also wanted to shout out his younger sisters, Tun Tun and Princess.
Tun Tun and
Jake was
Princess.
driving his Subaru WRX when the driver of a Cadillac Escalade pulled in front of him, forcing Jake into a T-bone collision.
What was the Escalade driver doing? Like, they was turning right?
The Cadillac driver ran a red light, but intended to go all the way across the
Oh, I see
road and
that.
turn left. If only we could take a look at this collision from another angle. As it turns out, we can. The driver of a Tesla captured the incident on Tesla Cam and shared it with Jake, and that turned out to be a lifesaver. Jake told us the Escalade driver was working hard to spin the story. The combination of Jake's dashcam footage and the Tesla Cam footage cleared Jake and proved the Cadillac driver fully responsible for the destruction of Jake's brand new Subaru. But that's not all.
If they would've just
the insurance
turned
settlement
up and
actually
good.
paid for Jake's new Tesla Model 3 to replace his WRX. He told us he's happy to be a part of the Tesla gang now. Talk about an upgrade. Sebastian was
I don't know, the other
following
camera looked
bus
better
and
than the
stopped to
Tesla
let out
camera.
Passengers, deploying its red flashing lights and multiple stop signs to warn motorists not to pass it in either direction. An oncoming driver either missed the dozens of flashing lights or they didn't think they applied to them. Either way, they drove right past the school bus, but those weren't the only flashing lights they would encounter. A law enforcement officer behind Sebastian saw what happened and flipped around to administer some instant justice. Sebastian told us he was extremely happy to capture it on the
We
dash
heard.
cam he's had for over 2 years. Ricky was headed to work when she was passed by a reckless Acura
Ricky.
driver. Her gut reaction was to slow down, but she had no idea in that moment how bad things were about to get.
That wasn't that bad.
Ricky is thankful she'd slowed down below the speed limit by the time the Acura spun out and she struck it head on. Incredibly, nobody was hurt in the collision. The Acura, on the other hand, was totaled. Ricky's Chevy sedan was also lightly damaged by the impact. She told us the Acura driver tried to convince her to let him repair her car himself. But after a week of radio silence, she contacted his insurance provider. You might not be surprised to find out that the Acura driver never reported the collision to his insurance provider, and he even tried to deny that the wreck had happened at all. Thankfully for Ricky, her dashcam doesn't lie. This submitter was on her way to get some ice cream when she was rear-ended by a pickup driver who clearly wasn't paying attention to the road ahead of him.
Oh, God.
Thankfully, our submitter wasn't severely injured by this impact.
Shit,
and
I'll
we
be severely
estimated
injured.
at around 45 miles per hour. No doubt thanks to the fact that she was wearing her seatbelt. She replaced her totaled Subaru Forester with a Tesla Model Y.
Why are they getting
Upgrade.
Teslas?
She and her husband are
I want a
hopefully
Tesla,
won't be
though.
sending us any Tesla cam videos, unless they involve other people, of course. Enjoy your new ride.
I'll be watching
Watch what happened
dude
as
that do
Peso
Tesla
headed through an
content.
intersection with the right of way. That other driver proceeded past his stop sign when traffic wasn't clear, but maybe we can forgive him since vehicles parked on the street made it hard for him to see. Even so, why would he stop in the middle of the intersection? His abrupt stop forced Peso to slam on the brakes, and he came within inches of a collision.
Stop or not stop, they still would have hit it. He still would have hit the
If you're ever in
dude.
this situation, commit to a course of action and get out of the way as fast as you can. Kenny was driving down a highway in New York when he was passed by a pickup truck with a canopy carrying bicycles on a bike rack. Moments later, the pickup spun out for no apparent reason.
Hydroplane.
After careening across the other lane and going off the highway sideways, the pickup rolled not once, not twice, but 3 times before finally settling. In all that rolling, the contents of the pickup were strewn everywhere. Kenny's brother pulled over so the two of them could render aid.
My bike.
Miraculously, the driver of the pickup wasn't seriously injured. In fact, Kenny told us the driver immediately began loading his cargo back in his pickup. Kenny said the guy even passed a concussion test easily, but we're pretty sure that pickup truck wasn't about to get back on the road anytime soon. Kenny said, "Please check your tires." His were worn out and not up to the task.
Well, we know why he spun out.
The cop is the one who didn't stop when he should have.
Wow.
Hank Jr. was driving with his father in the passenger seat when they watched a police SUV charge through a stop sign without any lights or siren active before T-boning another SUV. They immediately stopped to check on everyone. Hank Jr. told us the officer seemed shaken up and was very apologetic as he seemed to take responsibility. Thankfully, it doesn't appear like anyone was seriously hurt. Reynold was on his way to work one rainy day when an SUV driver suddenly cut across his lane.
I ought to kick their
Reynolds
ass.
came
Don't
within
do that.
inches of hitting the Chevy SUV with his Subaru Outback. He wanted to tell our viewers, get a dash cam, and even an inexpensive one could save you a lot of headache and money. This submitter was leaving a school parking lot, and as he approached a four-way stop, he watched the driver ahead of him stop before proceeding with the right-of-way. The driver of a white car from the right proceeded out of order before hitting the car ahead of our submitter, sending it through a wooden fence after the driver lost control.
Probably none of it.
Both drivers pulled over, as did our submitter. The driver of the white car admitted fault. Our submitter provided copies of his dashcam footage to both drivers, and thankfully, nobody was injured. A police SUV was behind Julia when she heard a rear-end collision happen behind her. The police officer made a 3-point turn and responded to the collision scene before Julia pulled into a nearby parking lot to retrieve her dashcam footage. When she offered it to the parties involved, they declined. I guess having a cop witness a collision is good enough. Thankfully, nobody appeared to have been hurt by the impact. Julia told us she and her family watch Wham Bam videos religiously, and she asked us to shout out their dog Charlie, who always remains attentive while our videos play. Hey there, Charlie. Who's a good boy?
I don't know if I would
The dog spotted another near Honda bump while driving down a highway in New York.
try to get my dash cam footage to people I seen a wreck. I was just like, oh damn.
The Honda driver threaded the needle between Superdog's Civic and a semi-truck. Superdog said at least they used their signals, even though I've had no chance to see them.
Wrong guard. Expensive. Won't stop sweat. Apparently made for boys. Right guard. Cost less. Stop sweat for 72 hours. Chosen by men who sweat from everywhere but their armpits. If it's not right guard, it's wrong guard.
Dragons are definitely safer. I can discover unique treasures and gradually emerge dragons now.
I still haven't played Monopoly Go. People tell me I should try, but I don't see myself playing it.
Doug was waiting at a red light when the car next to him was launched forward by a high-speed rear-end collision.
Damn!
A speeding white SUV smashed into the black car, sending it forward into the intersection. Meanwhile, the SUV flattened a pedestrian walk signal before stopping. A witness stopped to give a statement, and he said the driver of the white SUV had been weaving through traffic and had just cut him off before she slammed into the black coupe. Doug shared his footage with the victim. Our next video is a Tesla behaving badly that really takes the cake. Not only did this Tesla driver cause a collision, they immediately left the scene, probably oblivious to the damage they'd caused. As a near constant user of FSD myself, I can tell you with high confidence that the Tesla's human driver almost certainly caused this fender bender. Thankfully, the involved drivers were able to pull over safely. This emitter, who wanted us to call him X, was in a left turn lane when he watched the box truck ahead of him continue straight instead. Professor X got to witness instant justice when an unmarked Dodge Charger went chasing after the box truck with sirens screaming. Mr. X pointed out that if we zoom in, we can see the party lights come on. Nice catch, Dr. X. Davy's dashcam was running in parking mode when it captured this video of an SUV driver hitting a parked car while trying to maneuver through a cramped parking lot.
Oh, they need slightly. They
Parking
mode.
mode is when a dashcam will automatically come on and record video in certain situations, even while the car is turned off. A safety circuit ensures the dashcam won't drain your car's battery. Avi was headed home to New Jersey after a funeral when an oncoming driver made an unprotected left turn, meaning he should have yielded to opposing traffic across Avi's lane. Avi had no opportunity to avoid colliding with the SUV, spilling the Chinese food he just picked up all over the floor of his Hyundai Kona. He called 911 right away, then went to talk to the occupants of the SUV. That's when he discovered that the unlicensed and uninsured driver of the Nissan Pathfinder spoke almost no English, and they had to use a translation app to communicate. The driver immediately accused Avi of running a red light and speeding, but Avi told them he'd captured the whole incident on his dash cam. He told us that having the footage saved him a ton of headache with insurance. Thanks to his dash cam, Avi got a settlement check from his own insurance provider a week later after they totaled his Hyundai Kona. He told us he was very happy to have his dash cam. He also told us, I especially love and appreciate the amount of info for each clip and backstory and aftermath which is included. Thanks, Avi. He also shouted out his wife Michelle for being supportive and loving. Paul was driving in New York, the state, not the city, when an oncoming driver drifted across the double yellow lines and nearly hit Paul's Honda Pilot head-on. Paul thinks the driver of the black SUV was distracted, but thankfully, Paul was not. He swerved off the road to avoid a collision, then checked his rearview mirror to make sure the other driver didn't lose control. This emitter was on his way home from a birthday party when an oncoming van made an illegal left turn across traffic before colliding with a car.
He hit him twice.
Told us left turns from that direction aren't allowed here, so the car driver couldn't have expected the sudden maneuver from the van. He also told us that as a new driver, our channel shows him what not to do. Sean watched
New York got a lot of one-way roads.
Through a left turn before ricocheting off a guardrail. After witnessing the collision, Sean stopped and went back to see if he could help. Police and paramedics responded quickly, and Sean said they had to smash a window to remove the driver from the SUV.
Really?
Kevin was driving across the Queensboro
They did that for no
Bridge when
reason.
he watched a distracted Honda driver bump the side of a passing box truck. Our submitter pointed out that it didn't seem like any damage was done, aside from the side mirror folding in. So it makes sense that both drivers carried on like nothing had happened. I hear you typing, no, this wasn't a Honda bump. That's when a Honda rolls into another vehicle stopped at a red light or stop sign. It's not just any Honda bumping into anything. We've straightened this out before. Don't at me. This emitter was driving when a Jeep driver exited an alley from behind a building, clipping the side of her Subaru Forester.
Fucking Jeep drivers.
The driver of the Jeep was a new driver who was very sorry and feared she'd lose her license after wrecking her father's Jeep. Thankfully, nobody was seriously injured in the collision. Jason was on his way to the airport to pick up his neighbor when he nearly collided head-on with a wrong-way driver on the interstate.
There's no way you don't know you're on the wrong
The
road.
driver's high beams blinded him, and he couldn't tell until the last second that they were in his lane.
Yeah, they don't look like
Thankfully,
it.
the Audi driver on his right gave him space to swerve so he could avoid a collision. Jason told us he called 911 and provided police with the location of the wrong-way driver. But on his way back from the airport, he didn't see any police cars. Hopefully, the driver realized their mistake and got off the highway. Brian was driving when he watched a car pull in front of him with no lights on. He tried multiple times to warn the driver by flashing his own headlights at her, but evidently she didn't get the message. Another driver didn't see the car coming and pulled out in front of it before getting T-boned. Even though his car was sent spinning, it thankfully wasn't hit by any other traffic. Brian stopped to check on the drivers. Thankfully, neither was seriously injured. He offered a copy of his dashcam footage to the responding police, but they haven't contacted him for it since then.
The other person probably took
Jory was
blame.
headed to school one morning shortly after getting her first dashcam. When she approached a red light, an oncoming SUV ran the light to turn left, right in front of a cop car.
The cop like, oh my god, too early.
Jory kept going to school after capturing the instant justice with her new dashcam.
Jory. A lot of nighttime.
On Wham Bam Dashcam, we've shown you over 4,000... On Wham Bam... Buckle up for today's wild Wham Bam ride. Jam-packed with reckless...
I don't see any Georgia ones.
Some left.
Maybe it's not a lot of Georgia ones. I don't know.
Here on Wham Bam Dash...
We'll do Texas.
Zaxby's has 10 traditional or boneless wings for $10. Toss in 8 signature sauces or 3 bold dry runs.
Here on Wham Bam Dashcam, we've shown you over 1,000 dashcam videos sent in by our fans, and we serve up 20 new ones every week. Today we're showcasing some of the craziest clips we've ever featured, so buckle up for Wham Bam Dashcam's Worst Drivers of Texas, Volume 2. Samantha noticed a Nissan driver who decided to overtake a semi-truck with disastrous results. Who do you think didn't see who in this situation?
It looks like I was sitting on the side of the road right there.
Samantha made a U-turn to return to the scene and assess the situation,
Yeah,
but
man,
the trucker had already stopped. Samantha decided
Almost
to
hit a fire
continue
hydrant.
after deciding the semi likely had a dash cam of its own. She wanted to thank her husband Andrew for installing a dash cam in her Hyundai Tucson, and she told us she loves him. Aww.
That boy almost hit that fire. That would have been bad
Wayne was
then.
waiting for cross traffic to clear when a Chevy SUV from his right turned toward and ran straight into the front of his Honda CR-V. Wayne was shocked that anyone would so completely miscalculate a left turn like that. But then, he found out the driver was only 17 and didn't even have a license. That also means the teenager wasn't insured. Wayne called 911 to report the collision, but before the police arrived, the teen's father tried to convince Wayne to lie to the cops and tell them he'd been driving. Wayne didn't tell us what he decided to tell the cops. What would you do in a situation like this? Would you tell the cops the truth? Let us know in the comments.
Shit, if the dad gonna have an insurance paid for it, I'd tell you the dad was driving. My god,
Lane
down to right.
turns while a driver in a turn-only lane goes straight. Our submitter pulled over and shared his dashcam footage with both drivers. He also confirmed that both of them had been confused about which lane was for what. He doesn't know who was ultimately found responsible. While Sydney was taking his grandmother for a ride to a beauty salon, they heard a loud bang as an older car passed them on the right. The hood of an older Ford Focus had opened, obstructing the view of the driver. Sydney made a U-turn to check on the driver, but he told us the driver was quite calm, almost as though this sort of thing happens all the time. The driver then continued along, apparently satisfied to use the small gap below the hood to see where he was driving. As far as Sydney knows, no collisions occurred and nobody was injured. Check out the collision Zach witnessed while driving his Mustang GT.
He's not the one that got in a wreck? Surprising. Yeah, they bust something open with that. Damn, the road became so quick. Must have blew up your head.
T-boned by another SUV. Both drivers were transported to the hospital with injuries, as one was an elderly man and the other wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Zach had only just begun to render aid when firefighters arrived. Police also responded, and Zach gave them a statement and a copy of his dashcam video before leaving. This submitter's son was headed to the gym for a workout when the driver of a Ford Focus proceeded through a stop sign, failing to yield to cross traffic.
Ooh.
Sadly, he was unable to avoid a collision with the Ford Focus, damaging the quarter panel and rear bumper cover. A responding police officer facilitated the exchange of insurance information. The officer also informed the Ford driver that it was her responsibility to yield to cross traffic, but he didn't give her a citation. In spite of this, she made an insurance claim against our submitter's son, claiming he was at fault. When he made a counterclaim with her insurance provider, it turned out she wasn't their customer at all. Our submitter told us she was actually uninsured and had lied to the police. Thankfully, the damage to our submitter's son's truck was limited to paint scrapes, and some touch-up paint was enough to fix it. Obviously, the Ford took the brunt of the impact, showing why having insurance is a good idea.
Well, how the cop didn't see that when he looked it up? It should have said, you know, it didn't exist.
Now, I know what you're thinking, but what happened next actually wasn't his fault. Up ahead, 2 other vehicles had stopped in the highway after an earlier collision. The driver of a speeding Cadillac wasn't paying attention and almost rear-ended another car. When the Cadillac driver tried to swerve around the other car, they nearly ran into the 2 stopped vehicles. Then they sped off into the distance, evidently unfazed by what had just happened. Stephanie was driving down a road in Texas when the driver of an oncoming car with a flashing yellow arrow failed to yield to her even though she had a green light. Thankfully, everyone was okay, and both vehicles were still drivable. Both drivers stopped and exchanged insurance.
It didn't like they hit it
information.
first.
Stephanie told us she and her husband are big fans, and she asked us to surprise Guadalupe with a shout-out. Surprise! Shakira was leaving her neighborhood when she approached a 3-way stop. After stopping, she proceeded through the stop sign, but so did the driver of a Toyota Corolla on her left.
I think she could have beat there. She just hit the gas.
The Toyota driver blew through her stop sign, T-boning Shakira's Ford Explorer. Shakira called 911 and told the police what had happened, but the other driver told them Shakira had run her stop sign. She immediately pulled up her dashcam footage on her phone to show the cops. Sadly, even after being found responsible for the collision, the other driver had insufficient insurance to cover all Shakira's medical bills. Josh was delivering a Grubhub order when the driver of an orange pickup truck suddenly gunned it through a red light, forcing Josh to slam on his brakes. Josh told us he was traveling at 55 miles per hour when this happened, and T-boning the pickup could have easily been a very dangerous situation.
Nah.
He also told us not to worry, the Grubhub order was delivered on time. Phew! While Aleem's mother was driving home from work, the driver of a black car suddenly turned all the way across the road in front of her Toyota Camry. Both drivers pulled into a dealership parking lot and called the police. It took the cops 3 hours to respond. Thankfully, there were no serious injuries. Sadly, the Camry was totaled by the insurance company, but they chose to take a $7,000 settlement instead. They then paid about $6,000 to fix the damage, leaving them with an extra $1,000 when all was said and done. Casey was driving in Texas when the cameras on his Rivian captured an SUV driver pulling out in front of a minivan. Casey turned around and helped the occupants of the minivan get out safely. His wife called 911 and first responders arrived quickly. He was able to provide a copy of his Rivian cam footage to the police. Morgan watched a Ford driver speed down an on-ramp and cut off an SUV before rear-ending a Dodge Charger. Morgan told us the Ford's airbags deployed, but it looked like everyone was okay. He kept going after deciding it was too dangerous for him to stop on the interstate. He told us, San Marcos drivers strike again. Don't worry, we're already working on Volume 1 of Wham Bam Dashcam's Worst Drivers of Texas, so be sure to subscribe so you won't miss it when it drops. GB was waiting at an intersection when the light turned green. As GB began to accelerate, the driver of a Dodge Challenger cut across his lane to reach a highway entrance, forcing GB to slam on the brakes. The driver of the Buick behind GB wasn't expecting this and rear-ended GB's Ford Escape. Both of them pulled over and exchanged insurance information. GB chose not to make an insurance claim after being unable to find any damage aside from minor paint scuffs. Johnny was headed home when an oncoming pickup truck turned in front of him, forcing him to slam on the brakes. When he did, the Ram van following him barely avoided rear-ending his Subaru Legacy. Thankfully, no collision occurred, but Johnny said he nearly had a heart attack after what had happened. CM is an Uber driver who was dropping a passenger off at the airport early one morning.
CM Punk?
Suddenly, the driver of a black SUV swerved for an exit, forcing him into the gore point to avoid a collision.
And then they didn't even get on the exit.
CM is grateful for his Honda Civic's handling, which allowed him to avoid getting sideswiped by the wayward Chevy. He was able to safely drop off his passenger before taking the rest of the night off. James was driving when another driver turned in front of him. Police, firefighters, and paramedics all responded to the collision. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Repairing the damage to James' RAV4 cost $8,000 US.
Did he
Eric
pay
witnessed
for
a
it?
hit and run. After the responsible party fled, Eric turned around to find the victim and give them a copy of his dashcam footage, but they'd already left the scene. Twiggy was headed home with a friend when the driver of a Toyota Camry made a sudden U-turn in front of them. Twiggy slammed on the brakes and honked, but the other driver didn't seem to care. They just kept going, doing their best to keep their distance from the Camry driver. Jonathan was letting his girlfriend borrow his Chevy Tracker while he was working on her Kia Soul. Less than a mile down the road, she was struck by a Nissan Versa. Both drivers turned into a gas station to exchange information. Thankfully, the damage wasn't severe, so Jonathan chose not to make an insurance claim. He wanted to shout out his girlfriend Haley for being absolutely amazing. This submitter noticed someone ahead had blown a tire, so she moved over and turned on her hazard lights. The driver of the GMC SUV next to her wasn't paying attention and swerved toward her when they noticed traffic stopping. Our submitter was able to dodge the sideswipe, but she told us she was so startled she pulled over and let her husband drive the rest of the way home. She asked us to remind people to check their blind spots, especially if they are in a large vehicle, because there might be a little blue Chevy there. Good advice. Nancy was headed home
Bro, I
after her
cracked my
daughter's
thumb and got
medical appointment
nauseous.
when she watched a four-vehicle collision happen on the highway ahead of her.
It's oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh dang.
Nancy had only bought her dashcam 2 weeks before this happened. In an earlier incident, police had asked her if she had dashcam footage, then suggested she buy one when she told them she didn't. She wanted to shout out her husband Eric and daughters JK and KC. This next one is a little interesting as it takes place in a parking lot. Watch what happened as Reddy was driving his Nissan Versa. Reddy told us the other driver ran a stop sign and was driving at a speed not safe for a parking lot. Thankfully, no collision occurred.
I don't know why. I cracked my thumb and started getting nauseous, man.
The two vehicles had made contact. Gabriel watched a red van with a green light run into an oncoming driver making an unprotected
I don't know what
left turn.
happened. Oh my god. I was like kind of sick now. I don't know what
The
happened.
red car rolled off the road before stopping. Gabriel pulled over to check on everyone and offer his dashcam footage. Curiously, the occupants of the gold car refused to get out of the vehicle. Gabriel told us his family loves watching our videos every week, and we inspired them to get a dashcam for their Toyota RAV4. His daughter Ari now wants a Tesla after watching Wham Bam Tesla Cam. This video is a little different. Our submitter was flying around a go-kart track when another racer suddenly turned into him. Thankfully, there were no serious injuries. Our submitter didn't contact the police as the damage to his go-kart, which wasn't really his, I suppose, was pretty minor, and he told us he still managed to win the race. Evidently, the other driver told our submitter that the collision had been his fault. He wants to know what you think. Who caused this horrible wreck? Our submitter or the other racer?
Man, we got a Patreon, man. Please support the show.
At first she thought it was a coincidence. It turns out, community moves you. Quite literally. Explore your story. At first she thought it was a coincidence. It turns out, community.
Bro, why is me ads?
Creepy individual. I bet he wants to go around neighborhoods doing stabbing and making neighborhoods.
That was it? Shit, I know that was it. We'll watch.
Buckle up for today's wild
System Ontario.
On Wham Bam Dashcam, we've shown you over 4,000 dashcam videos captured by our fans all over the world, with 20 new ones every week. You're about to see some of the craziest clips we've ever featured, so buckle up.
I don't know what I feel like playing. I want a game, but I don't know what I want to play.
Drivers of Ontario, Volume 2. Today's first submitter was waiting at a red light when he watched a white Ford
Really? Like, Smith ain't got no new video. Like, all the guys is.
Alright, our culture event is officially underway. Alright, our culture event is officially underway.
Right hand on the brake. Right hand on the brake, you must measure. Okay? Stay right there.
Former title challenger Ray Gordon on Renee with the freshly shaven head. He's what I like to call a meat potato slapper. Just workmanlike.
I ain't sitting there. I will always want to go first. And if I don't knock the person out with the first lap, I just quit. What's another like extreme sport people don't really watch too much? Probably just don't know about. That's ugly.
Took a big breath before. Powerful strike from Nate Bernard. Perez doing what he always does. Easy shots. Respect both men. These guys both felt that this matchup has been 1 year in the making. Finally standing toe-to-toe with one another. It feels like title eliminator, number 1 versus number 2.
As sports fans, we can cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. People begin to be and with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, and one
I think I spelled that wrong.
6 clean rooms.
Can't skip it? Oh.
It doesn't get easier.
Part of their ass? Jeez,
Hit one here.
Mom! Where's my book?
There's a new leader in safety. Mazda is the safest new car brand in America.
Mazda the
Have
safest?
absolutely no idea.
Oh, I can skip that. Oops.
But you do. And that makes all the difference. Mazda. More of what matters most to you.
What does the $7 big deal meal get you at Sonic? The real question is, what doesn't it get you? Enjoy a full meal plus premium chicken bites for just $7. It's the $7 Sonic Big Deal Meal.
Razor bumps? Get a shave with a touch of aloe. Venus Extra Smooth Sensitive.
I'm gonna learn how to bicycle here. Freaked out how to do it. Push off your kicking foot, snap your driving leg.
He was definitely stumbled here in round 2.
Oh, my God.
You got 30 seconds.
Just a giant of a kid.
15 seconds.
There's Perez. Taking a dive himself. Come on.
Finally recovered. Right on 3 with the measure.
Power needed down a little bit for the Buffalo Soldier.
Yeah.
How does he respond right here going 1-3?
2.
Clean strike. He is so important to Drew. He is right.
Hit him exactly how you hit him the last time, alright? Line up just like you did. You were perfect. Don't fucking change things in the last one, alright? You're doing what you're ready, alright?
Yep.
You got it. Okay. You're ready to go? Ready to hit him?
Just clean.
Hit him just like you did.
It was a perfect strike. Chilln is feeling pretty confident in his fighter, Perez, that he hurt him in the last round. Round 3 presented by Lucid Breakers. 15 pouches with flavor that slaps harder and lasts longer. Looking to put him out in round 3.
Chin's good. Don't move, please.
Both men obviously going to need a big strike.
Right on 3.
Certainly feels like it's all tied up. Time for the second most wins in power slap history with 7.
He's back.
Not like that strike. Yeah. Put him on a stinky leg. Second straight time. Final shots here for the Buffalo Soldier.
Listen, hey, we're down to the scorecards.
Not flying.
Thing you have right now.
Knees weak. Exact same placement as the second round as well.
Right here. Last
Perez.
I put it
Found that sweet spot. Will it be a one has sat down Dorian Perez in all of his bouts. I want to be the first. He's going to have to do it here. It's all or nothing here for Nate Bernard.
I like how my camera turned to switch, but
He needs a strip sack and a touchdown for the victory. Or we're going to have another big comeback in this matchup.
he ain't got it.
There are a few men in this.
Like, they don't really upload videos anymore. Ain't much to watch of them. These are all people I'm subscribed to. Let's see. What was it? I might watch that later. I kind of want to try Grounded, but I don't know what I want to play. I ain't been on 6 in forever. Oh my god, they got an update. Are you fucking serious? Why every time I try to go in a goddamn game, they want to update? That's updating, so. How much show got? – 11 minutes, alright. I don't know what I want to do for 11 minutes then. Don't really play playing Siege. I mean, don't really play Flake. I don't really play playing Fortnite. I don't know. I don't know what I want to play.